I actually really like my theme music. Brought to you by AI, of course. So let's turn it down just a little bit though. Alright, so still trying to figure out the right time of day to do streams or whatever, since I got people watching from totally different locations across the world. But nonetheless, I feel like I'm just gonna start doing random stuff that I want to do. And I think a topic that a lot of people are talking about right now is this whole one sound to image 2 thing, and this is a native thing, so I figured why not just work with this, see what happens. Unlike some of the other ones that are a little bit more complex, this one may be a little bit more straightforward, but we're gonna find out. I saw something about this 77 length thing being like the standard for this. So anyways, these are the 2 nodes I think that are needed the most. The one sound to image one, of course, and this one for extending it, because you have to kind of do it in sections or something. So yeah, that, and this also the light X2V models. I've heard that almost, at least I've read that like almost all of them work to some degree, so you can kind of mess around with all of them. But let's just see what we can do. Also wanted to use, I don't know how many people have this, Kokoro, this thing right here. Is this which one is it? This one? Yeah. I am a synthesized robot. This might take a little bit much, but you know, I didn't want to use my voice. It's not that lovely. And this thing allows you to basically, I think I have the page pulled up here. Yeah, this is what, okay, it's based on this one, but it's actually somebody else that made a version for ComfyUI. But I'm pretty sure you can just look this up. Look up KokoroTTS in the manager or whatever, and it'll pop up. Yeah, this one right here, ComfyUI Kokoro. If you want to use this, it's basically like a text-to-speech thing, creates like a little voice thing. As a matter of fact, I'll just show you. Why not? Let's test it out. All right, so Kokoro speaker is very, very straightforward. There's nothing complicated about this. And hi, my name is Sarah. Oh wait, that's the wrong hi. Man. Okay, I wonder if it'll say he instead of hi. But it has all these different voices. I believe means American, so American female, blah 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 blah. Let me just run it really quick. And let's see. Yeah. Hi, my name is Sarah. And it can do pretty long. I don't know how long of a text you can really go with this, but it does do a pretty long length of text. That being said, I want to coordinate that into this thing. There's also other things you can do with it, actually, because there's one other cool thing you can do with this, the speaker combiner, where you can take 2 different voices, like take George and Sarah 50%. The higher this number is, the more it's like speaker A, and then the lower the number is, it's more like speaker B. But yeah. You want to give her a more deeper tone of voice, you can do it like that. Yeah, something like that. Maybe 65. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So what I want to do is, let's just take the bulk of this thing and see what we can do with this. And let's not worry about that right now, because we're also going to need, of course, the case sampler. I know this one is not like as good as I think the other new ones, but I think it's worth checking out. You do need a special type of node. And something's weird about the workflow that they provided via, was it this one? Yeah, SV. The workflow that they have in the templates for ComfyUI, kind of strange. I don't know what is with those, but they don't seem to work. I don't know, the template that the workflow that they provided doesn't seem to work that well. I don't know why it's the way it is. But yeah. Okay. Let me just do all the standard stuff we always do. It might be a little complicated, but whatever. I feel like there's a thing where people want like more of the, like, you know, the text, or not text to video, but ability to like have like random voices, or not random voices, but voices that you can create yourself that are not necessarily your own voice, to create something that will be referenced as if it was a voice that you created. What is this one here? That's why I kind of like this. I don't know that it's like as good as like all those 11 labs and all that stuff. I need an image. I'm gonna adjust the image I want to use too. Yep. Give me that one. Oh yeah, we need the audio encoder because there is audio here. The cool thing about this is most of the stuff, you have to still get the models and everything, but most of the stuff you can just kind of like, oh, this is the one we might want to see if we can get the output from Kokoro. Oh, shoot, it's too far away. Ugh. Okay, doing this all wrong. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, and what is this? Nothing. Just get rid of that for now. Alright, so this is what we want to do, is text to speech, what they actually are going to say. The video, blah, blah, blah. A load image, I mean. One sound image video, blah, blah, blah. We need the VAE already here. Okay. And this is like a lot of those other things where we use like a preprocessor. So this preprocesses the stuff to be utilized in the sampler. And because we're using this, we can lower the steps. And this I'm gonna, here, let's do this. Resize image. Ugh. So I'm gonna use the deprecated one. I know nobody likes that, but I do. Because it's gonna make this a whole lot faster. Get image size, please. And just translate that into this, so I don't have to do it. And okay, so this was, well, you see, this is, you can go as low as 1. I think we can go 4 steps for this. Just put a random number in here, whatever that is. And I'm gonna use DDIM because I like it. That latent. This is, we're gonna, let's not extend just yet. I just want to see what we can get without doing that. Video combine. Back to the VAE. missing something. I don't know how effective this particular model is at anything like animation wise. Hello, Rico Rodriguez. ¿Cómo estás? I don't know that I can actually use this as effectively as WAN 2.2 or even WAN 2.1, just a regular image to video. I wonder if it can actually even combine that into this workflow. But, I don't know, this might be a little bit too heavy. I don't know how big this stuff is. So let's just say a female cyborg woman in a medical, a futuristic, futuristic medical facility. She is talking to us. Okay, that's the action. We'll just minimize the negative, color code it. Yeah, matter of fact, let's just start color coding stuff so stuff doesn't get confusing. I have a feeling this is gonna get confusing on me. Okay, so all of the loaded model stuff together. That's all this stuff, right? Make all that brown. Okay. This is a part of that. Okay, but this is all the Kokoro stuff. So this should be its own color. Let's just make it purple. Whoops. Make this purple. Alright. There's that. It looks too simple. It looks too easy. I don't trust it. Something's not right. I just feel like this is too good to be true. It can't be this easy. Can't be. Alright, let's just leave that here. Alright, what should they say? That's the real question, right? What should they be saying? This welcome to the most advanced medical facility on, ooh, yeah, let's do that thing. Ganymede. Offer the most state of the art cybernetic implants. What else? What else do they have? Cybernetic implants. DNA remapping, DNA identification, remapping. What's some stuff you could do with Cyberpunk that you can't do anywhere else? Oh yeah, say memory log. I don't know how long we can make this. Memory augmentation. Let's say I want to see how many complex words or big words. cyberkinesis implants DNA and doing memory augmentation and enhancements. First, you gotta know how to spell big words if you want to be able to use them. Enhancements and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included. Yeah, okay, that's enough. That's enough of my rambling. Okay, so, and I want them to sound British. So let's look. BF Lily, who has a little bit of a deep voice because we're gonna add a little bit of George in there, and we'll preview it from here. That's before we run everything. I just want to see what it sounds like. Where's how do you, oh my god, there it is up here. Okay. Let's see. Does it sound? Will it sound different if I put an exclamation? I don't like the way they say remapping. Alright, they did say remapping better. Maybe a comma will make a pause, I don't know. Oh, I didn't even combine it right. I was wondering why her voice didn't sound deep enough. I was like, because George is not even in there. I didn't route that correctly. Alright, let's try this again. That's better. What if there's something more than just? Can we, how many other language options are there in this thing? What is EM? That's okay, EM, English male? But what is, okay, B is British. J is Japanese, I guess? Jeff. Okay. Tubukuru. Let's see what that is for me. I want to see if... Alright, let's just stop messing around with this. I'll be at this all freaking day. No, I don't like that at all. Let's get... Where's... Okay, British female Isabella. Let's do another one of these. Let's combine 3. I'm gonna waste too much time on this. I know it. I know it. I just know it. Okay, this speaker, you go into here, and you come down here, like that. And we want a lot of weight on Isabella. More weight on George. I want slight on this Japanese voice. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if I I don't know if I hear the Japanese in that, but okay, whatever. Stop tinkering with that. Let's just go with this whole. Let's finish this workflow. Let's see what we can get here. Okay, boom, boom. 16 frame rate, and where in the world? That one. Oh, you can't hear the voice output? Oh crap. Wait a minute. Let me see if. How do I do that? Freaking. Thanks for telling me that, because I need to figure this stuff out. How do I make that pop up? Does it mute it on the stream side? How would I do that? I don't even know how I would do that, to be honest. Any experts out there in OBS could possibly tell me how. Oh wait, is this? Let's try this. No, that doesn't do it. Maybe there's another part. Maybe that one. How do you do that? Is it maybe because of the headphones on the mic? I don't know. These are good questions that I don't have the answer to. Alright, let me try this. I'm gonna turn off. Let's turn off the background music for a second. Okay. Now. Let's see. Alright, I can do this. I hope I don't get any feedback though. It might do this though.
We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping, memory augmentation enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included.
Can you hear it now? I felt like you could hear it now. Yeah, I was just afraid of feedback because I don't want to. I guess if I'm playing it back, I don't know. I didn't want there to be like a bunch of like feedback going back and forth. Okay, so matter of fact, just so you guys could hear what I was comparing it to, so you can see how ridiculous it was sounding. Okay, so yeah, let's turn all that stuff down. All right, so before I think I can just bypass so you can hear it. Nah, screw that. That's just gonna confuse me. Let's do this. So this is just the Japanese speaker right here. And
welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification, remapping,
that sounds so
memory
bad.
augmentation enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one at all. And then this one is what? This is with the George British male mixed with the Japanese voice.
Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the...
Yeah, they just dominated that one. I think it's because it was too low, but I think it was at 65. You can hear more of the female voice. Because, yeah, speaker A is... The higher the number, the more you hear speaker A.
Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't even want to hear all of that. Okay, so yeah, this was supposedly what? I think I had it at 4.5 again. Yeah, well, when I did this, that's probably why I didn't hear the Japanese in her voice, because at that low, I was like, I don't hear any of that. I saw mixed British female Isabella Tebukuro, which is, I guess, a female, and George together, another British person.
Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping, memory augmentation enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included.
You know what's so weird about this is that I realized that oh my god, Tebukuro it actually speaks slower than some of them, because I was noticing even like the output size. So it's weird how it decides to mix them together and it like slows the pace of one of their voices. So it's interesting to see like the iterations that it'll do, but there's no seed number type thing on this, so we can't get different inflections. So what you get is what you get. You can probably try to type it differently, I guess, and then try to mess with this combination a little bit more, but for the most part, yeah, you can't. There's no seed numbers though. That's the limitation of that Kokoro stuff, but it doesn't sound bad. So I'm just gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna get all this back. Hey, but for some reason this workflow just seems too simple to work to me. I don't know why, but it just seems like this can't possibly work. But let's just run it. Let's see what happens. Alright, let me readjust. Get my ambiance back. I don't know if this does feedback. I don't think it's. I never know how the audio sounds on you guys and whether stuff is too loud or not. But yeah, also heard that, like, even though this right here, this LoRa, all the light X2V LoRa speed up this process, that it has less quality as far as like how it like will do the lip sync and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if I can still use it, but like, you know, maybe push up the CFG maybe a few more steps without it going like too crazy. And I'm trying to keep this image pretty small for the sake of the stream, so that way it doesn't take a long time to do this stuff. But I'm wondering if I could just do that rather than just getting rid of it completely, because I think the recommendation without the LoRa is like 6 steps, or not 6 steps, 6 CFG and like 20 steps here, but I don't know. Oh man, I got the wrong type here. Son. Just a regular one. Yeah, that's what I'll put this at fixed too. But I know that the length of 77 is definitely not long enough. Not for this audio. Well, I don't think it is. Which is why we probably need to use this. Okay. Hold up. Turn this background stuff off. Is it? Okay, thank you. Please chime in when you know that something is too loud or something like that. Just tell me so that way, like, because I can't monitor it the same way. I had to turn the headphones off, actually, so that way you could hear the sound from the actual clip here. Did it go through? I don't think it went through. Okay, let's try that again. I think it was that. Oh, you know, I know why it didn't go through. Because I didn't freaking attach the audio. Freaking. Oh my god. You have to actually put the audio attached to this thing if you want it to actually output anything. Where is it? This one. If you want to hear the audio, you gotta attach it to the video. Alright, so this is actually not going to output anything. I actually shouldn't do this. Well, it's going to be fixed, so it should be okay. Because I can just, like, whatever it samples out, since it's already on fixed generate, it won't resample it, and it'll just add the audio when I rerun it again. It should be good. But you can see it's doing some type of animation right here of the character, at least. There's also that problem that we were having before with that blip that you see like at the very beginning, where it's kind of like blips out, where we had the trim latent thing, but it's not really a trim latent option on this particular one. I know they offered this other thing called trim nuts. It was called latent cut or something like that, but I haven't really got that to work at all. This thing. So that's where I'm yeah, I don't know exactly what the amount should be. I don't know how to tie it into anything because there's no, they don't really talk about this stuff a lot. Yeah, it did work. That's a good thing. So yeah, it's a little more straightforward than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a little more complex than this. Okay, and our head moved differently, but that's not necessarily a problem. Okay, so got that part. Now run it again to add the audio, and here you go.
Medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most welcome to the most
not everything, which I kind of knew I was gonna be that. It's not enough. It does, you know, her lips are moving. I don't know if they're. What's that freaking song? That old song with lips are moving, which you're lying. You're not really saying what I think you should be saying, or the way they should be working. But anyways, that's a start. We got something. I'm gonna ignore this latent cut thing for right now. So let's extend this with this part. So the latent video is this, right? Move this out of the way. I think we have to just pull everything from where it was coming from beforehand. So maximize this, even though there's nothing here. Alright, that. The VAE comes from the same place. Output of the audio. Oh wait, it's way back here. Audio output and the reference image is way back here too. Alright, I don't have a control video, but maybe that will help, I guess. If it like actually had like a movement it was supposed to do. I like that they didn't use two samplers. One is simpler. Yeah, but I also think it's very limited in length, and that's why you have to do this like video extend thing, because one, I just noticed just me. One time I just tried to extend it just a few more frames. Like I wanted to do like 121, and it immediately said like I ran out of memory, and I was like, really? Even though the image was small. So this I think is a way to handling it, but I think it's a pain to do, and we need another because this is again like a preprocessor. We need another K sampler to make it work. I'm gonna clone this one so we can keep the settings. And positive, negative, latent. Okay, so this is the tricky part. You can't just do this. And the reason why you can't do that is because we've got two separate things and they need to be combined together. They're not actually combined together. That's the weird part. Matter of fact, I'll just show you. We'll just run this really quick. Oh wait, you gotta connect them all. That stuff. Okay. But it won't. I think what happens is it'll like run some type of like repetition thing where you'll see it like, yeah, ran out of memory. See? It's always something crazy like this. But I think it'll like duplicate the last thing it did before, and that's like not what you wanted to do. You wanted to like do the next thing. I don't know how you explain this, and that's why I think they have this latent concatenate thing. For those of you unaware, is short for concatenate, which means just to add. It's a fancy word for add something else on the end of it. So what I think is like, think of it like this. Like this is one group, let's say the pale blue, and then this group is another group. Oh, not the same color. The dark blue. So we sampled the first set, right, of like time with the audio with the dark blue, and then we're gonna sample again the next set with the light blue, and then we have to combine them together, because if we don't do that, it's still gonna, the length is still gonna be the same or something like that. I don't know. I can't really explain it, or at least it's not even the length. I think it's like, how you say, the way it decides to do the head movement and motions of the character or something like that will just be the same thing. I don't really know exactly how much VRAM you need, but I mean, I have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Sometimes it just does that because it doesn't empty it out, because you see I just ran it again and now it just went through. But there are other versions of this model, or like the GGUF versions. This is the FP8 ones, but they got some other versions I think that are smaller. I don't know how good they are, because I was thinking about using the FP16 version, but I don't know. I just try to, you know, one, I try to get decent quality to show you guys, but also enough efficient enough that like I can actually just not take like 45 minutes to an hour to have an output, especially on a live stream. I know that's, oh, whoop. Oh, it doesn't come out yet. Okay. But yeah, I don't think this will come out right because I didn't concatenate.
Facility on Ganymede. We offer the most welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most welcome.
See, I don't think it added the rest. I really don't think it did, and I think that's simply because you didn't do this. We have to add them together. So this is one output from here, right? We still run it through because it still has to go through the entire process, but we recombine them later here, and X's should be T, right? Yeah, T for time, and when it's like we add this and this set together through here, which makes a new color that's purple. And then purple is the result of all of this, right? Okay, so this should run just right through because I feel like it's already sampled, yeah. So if we run it right through, I think you might be able to go a little bit above 77, but I'm not quite sure how much.
Advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced.
All right, it did go further. It did go further, right? We got to go a lot further than this, though.
DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most.
Okay, so yeah, this is probably the not fun part. Is trying to continuously like concatenate this. So I'm gonna do this, and this is probably where it's gonna start looking really ugly. So okay, I'm gonna do one at a time, so that way it's not too crazy. Take both of these. I'm pressing Control C to copy, then press Control Shift V, and then you get a duplicate with all the connections before it, so I don't have to reconnect it again. And I'm gonna change the color of this to red. Alright, so this will extend it a little bit further, but now we gotta figure out, okay, this, we need to run this through here, right? Okay. We probably need two more of these actually, but okay, let's just think for a second. Cause now I'm gonna confuse myself. Let's do it one more time. All right. Bear with me. I promise it's just as crazy as it looks. Okay, this goes to here, and then imagine we're gonna sync this through here. All right, so this is another set. We've concatenated these two. So imagine these right here is like linking those two together, and then we come down here, right? And we need another thing to just link these two together, which means, okay, clone this. So which one's first? This one's first. I don't know. Yeah, this one's first, and then this one gets synced into here. I can't imagine how confusing this might look to somebody who just like they just tuned into this. Like, okay, so this goes into here to here to here. This is just like daisy chained in the regular way from latent image to latent image like that. But then you have to go back and take the set, because imagine these are together, right? these two are together. This is pre-processing for this. This is pre-processing for that. So these two are together, and then you take these set, and then you combine them together, right? It's gonna go further out here. Disconnect this for now, so it doesn't get confusing. Okay, and then you connect these two together via this. So these two sets are connected. Let's change the color of this. Yellow's fine. So now that these two are connected, we need another one. We need another concatenate thing to connect this set, right, to this set, and then come out here. Yeah? Am I? Oh my god, I might confuse myself. Let's just run it. Screw it, let's just run it. Let's see what happens. But I think, again, the way this thing goes is that the limitation on memory will just be in how much you have to load into the K sampler once. Because I think I talked about this before, is when you're actually like doing these diffusion models and samples in the video, it's creating the video of every frame in that sampler all at once. It's not like doing it sequentially like we would think in our heads. It's literally just mapping out every frame all at once together. So that's why that first couple seconds or minutes, depending on your system, where you just see it turn green with the box around here, but there's no little bar going, that's when it's loading up all the frames together and about to like do the samples over it. But we only have 4 steps, so it's just gonna do it 4 different times and then move on to the next one. So if you have a whole bunch of steps, right, you'll see that it'll probably, that's when you can run out of memory. Or if you have a whole bunch of like frames, I guess you could say, loaded up into it, maybe it's too many. Or of course the other point is that if the image itself, this is only 640 by 640, so if the image itself is too big, then you know each set of frames takes more and more memory. I think you guys get the idea. But yeah, I've just realized that if I can find more and more ways, there's other things too with this meta batch thing, to make it like so that way you can utilize whatever memory you have, but then just, you know, you have to take more time. Because I know there's still people who don't have the best memory, but they still want to make like high resolution stuff, and it's understandable that you want to do that, but there's always some type of compromise, whether it's, you know, it just takes more time for you to do it, or, you know, the other one is you have to pay for a more expensive card, but that's just going to keep getting more and more expensive anyways as they keep creating more and more stuff. So it's got to be another separate solution to really make all of this work. But I do realize now why they would want to put this in like subgraph format, at least like this part, turning these into subgraphs, so that way you don't have to like keep making it workflow crazy like this. But the concatenate part is the part that's actually the most confusing to me, because you have to keep doing this. Depending on how long your video gets, it's going to get more and more complicated. I'm pretty sure I did this right, because I have to add these together, and this set happens after this set, which means it's okay for it to be here. That's the samples on one. Okay, yeah, that makes the most sense. And I'm gonna change this. I don't know what to change it to. I'm running out of colors. I need more colors up here. Cyan. Yeah, let's just change these to something like that. Hold on, let me turn on. I have 8 gigabytes on a 3070. I might want to see the GGUFs. Yeah, I'm gonna, give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to turn off my AC. I didn't know if it was gonna be too loud on the mic. I think my computer is loud enough. Yeah, I know I've seen some of those GGUFs. I'll probably like put links in descriptions and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna do a more official walkthrough of this whole thing later. I just wanted to just start just doing like random live streams. The real reason I like doing live streams is because it takes down on like editing time, which I don't like to do. Like, there's so much stuff I have to do for this channel, let alone my other stuff I have to do in my life. So, and also again, it gives me the ability to talk to you guys directly, because I would really prefer to hear what you guys are interested in or what you guys really want to see, or just, you know, directly, like, if you got an idea and you want to see something happen, I can show you in real time. Alright, we're almost there, right? Let's see what we get. I think I did this right. I swear I did this right. Yeah, but that looks really ugly. Oh man, I didn't realize the workflow was that big already. It looks like it's taking more time, so that's a good sign.
Advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping, memory augmentation enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included.
That part, okay.
Welcome to the most.
We got to the end, but they didn't stop talking. I don't like that part. It's 3 a.m. in Europe. What time is it in Europe? Oh, it is about 9:26. So yeah, that's what I've noticed. Like, I have a lot of like viewership in Europe, and I think I even had some people from Russia at some point. So I have to consider the time slot for that. I think it's better for me to stream stuff in the morning time than it is, at least morning time over here, than it is for over there. I think my American audience is more like watching stupid stuff on the net right now. I don't know. So, alright, so we got relatively what I wanted. You know, also might be too, the seed numbers are all the same, so maybe it's like repeating everything. I don't like, though, that it just continues to keep talking, even though there's no more words.
Included.
See, like, it just keeps, the mouth keeps
Welcome
moving.
to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping, memory augmentation enhancements, and much more.
Alright, so what can we alter about this to make this a little bit better? Okay, first things first. I want to make different seed numbers. I think that might help. That does mean we have to kind of go through the whole thing again. But I think that might make a difference, at least how the movements are interpreted. First one will keep the same, so that way we don't have to go through the whole thing. I do think, though, that maybe I'm not gonna worry about late cut right now. I think that maybe I should change the nature of the. Maybe I might have to go all the way back anyways. Maybe the strength of the model, and then. Let's keep this one the same. What happens if we add a few more steps on this? 6. Now it's the alchemy time. Let's see what happens when we start messing with stuff. This one, it could be a memory issue if it goes too high. I like that the video has no noticeable color change. Yeah, again, I think the only thing I see is that little blip at the beginning.
Enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included. Welcome to the most advanced.
Yeah, that little blip, I could trim that off, but I'd like to be able to do that here rather than like somewhere else, like a program like a video editor. Alright, so if it's doing too much at the end, right? What I could do is just eliminate one of these too. Maybe I just don't need all 4 of these samplers. So I'll let it run one more time and then I'll get rid of the gold one. Maybe that'll be enough to handle all the audio. There's also the other part is like, okay, what would happen if we try to like have a control video here and then there's a reference motion. I noticed that the reference motion thing is not in the extended ones. So I'm trying to think, like control video is probably something like control net type of stuff. But the reference motion, I don't know, I usually use control videos like referencing just the motion itself, so I don't know if you use them in Congress with each other or separately. Yeah, thanks for nothing. You're not telling me anything. There's also another image I want to try. Who was the other one? This is one of the other. This is a preview. Hold up. You can't see it. That's right. I forgot. You have to like. It's one of the other part of my screen. Hold on. Let me turn the other part on. I usually don't put this. Not that one. This one. Yeah, I usually don't throw the screen on because it lags sometimes, but let me turn the other one off for a second. But yeah, I wanted to not just use this one, but that one. It's I don't know how large it is, but I think it's substantially larger than the other one. But something a little bit more crazy, intimidating. Because I'm actually like, that's part of one of the images that I was starting to create for the cyberpunk cinematic thing I'm trying to do. And I want to be able to utilize this a little bit more. But there's so many other parts to this that like I have to like really figure out. Because yesterday I tried to do a stream about creating video game type graphics, like 8-bit video game graphics. But I had so many freaking things go wrong during that stream. Mostly my system just kind of like conked out on me or something like that. But oh well. I'm gonna try that one again later. But I did have some pretty interesting stuff to pop up. Yeah, I think I might, instead of like continuously running this way, I think I might just trim off this. We'll just deal with the fact that we didn't get all of the audio and just see what other stuff we could do to manipulate it. So I'm guessing they use like control that. So if you want to use this I would actually use control on this. But that I still need it to move first. So I think technically, technically I would probably need to make a video from this image first, and then from that, take that video, then go through this process of doing like the control that thing, kind of like the 1.2.1 image thing, and then from there create maybe like a DW pose thing or something. But I really want to see if this thing can actually see a DW pose in here. I don't know if it can. I feel like it will, but yeah, 6 steps is a lot. Apparently 6 steps is a lot. I think actually for the sake of this stream, I might just like take off this whole part. You know, I kind of like, I want to hear that whole audio.
All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping, memory augmentation enhancements, and much more. All of our products come with a 90-day warranty included.
I really don't feel like her lips are really syncing. It just doesn't feel like it to me. Yeah, I know, you're out of memory. Alright, so look, because thanks for telling me that, because I don't care anymore. We're just gonna stick with the part right here, and I'm gonna need this, and the concatenate for this is sufficient. We don't need the one from here, and we're gonna stick with this, so that way we'll have to keep running everything over and over again. Okay, it does pick up the DW pose. That's good. I could just make the text shorter. I could just do that.
Most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. It definitely is a whole lot better. That's definitely a whole lot better than the other. You see how the lips actually start to move with the character a little bit more. And notice at the very beginning it was kind of iffy. That's probably this part right here, where it's just 4 steps and like the CFG is at 1. But as soon as it goes into the other one, it gets better.
medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most
Yeah, it's definitely that. So that what do you call it? Light X2V lure does kind of limit you if you have it really, really low. You just gotta go through the steps, I guess. CFG above 1 takes much longer than I use to speed up LoRa. Do you think this can help? Well, see, okay. All right, so let's say it like this. So what it is that the LoRa allows you to lower the CFG. So by lowering the CFG, and it's almost like, I'm trying to figure out a very simple way of explaining this. Imagine like you're trying to like, you don't have a lot of saturation in something, right? Unless you push up the CFG. Imagine they oversaturate it via the LoRa, and then now you can turn down the CFG, which means you can have less steps, because if you had it oversaturated with, and then put all the steps in, then it's going to be like totally washed out. I don't know if I'm explaining this really well. It's kind of hard for me, but the idea is that it allows you to lower the CFG so you can do it in less steps. But if you increase, if you increase the amount on the CFG, put more steps. The more steps is the more like processing of it. The more processing of it, the more deliberate it's gonna be with what it does. So that's the reason why we see it like follow it a little bit better, because we literally allowed it to. I'm wondering too if it's possible if we just turn down the LoRa itself just a little bit. Now I want to turn this up to 6. This is gonna make it take a lot longer. God. Okay. What words does it stop on?
Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping.
Okay. Alright, let's do this too. Let's make this workflow a little bit tighter, so I don't want to keep going way over here. It's already so much crap. I'm gonna stack these on top of each other. I don't even know how to stack this. How to make this logically look correct. Wait a minute, where's the other square? Okay, yeah, right here. Sorry, I'm not OCD, but the organization kind of like is important to me, because it actually also, the visual clutter kind of confuses me. I kind of feel like it helps too with the viewer. If you guys have a lot of visual clutter, you know, it's very confusing for you guys too. So try it. That's even why I do the color coding stuff. It really helps to understand what it is I'm looking at. I have that so big. Get out of here. Section is off. Alright, we don't need to see this anymore. So, okay, how do we have to do a whole nother workflow actually. Because I know we probably can combine. Could we do a WAN 2.1 into this? I definitely wouldn't put WAN 2.2 in this. This is too much. I would definitely need more RAM to be able to do that, but I'm wondering if we do like Img2Video. And actually how, because the question is basically how to utilize this control video, or more importantly, the reference motion thing. Because, you know, I don't want to just do talking heads, and I assume most people just want to do a bunch of talking heads, right? You want to have more activity going on, and this is definitely not that much activity. There's not even anything going on in the background. It's just them talking. So I guess how would I do this? And all these are actual images. They're not latents. Yeah, especially on here. They don't even accept the latent. They also the other thing is too, we can't use this diffusion model. We have to use like the WAN 2.1 diffusion model if we really wanted that video to come out right. So combining it all in one workflow probably wouldn't be the smartest idea, just for memory's sake. Yeah, because that's a whole nother K sampler too. Oh yeah, I know. You're always running out of memory. Where's the one? I wonder if I use a smaller one. I think I have a smaller one here somewhere. You have the one. Is this text to video? This is text to video. Fun control. Did I get rid of it? I think I switched the WAN 2.2 so much that I might have. No. I think I just used face for a while. No, I think this is it. Yeah, that's it. It's been a while since I've used the WAN 2.1. Yeah, I seriously don't think this works. Can we do settings? Could I do it with the same text? Yeah, that doesn't matter, but we do want it to move faster, so. I don't know if this worked for WAN 2.1. I can't even remember. I don't think I was using this for WAN 2.1. Crap. I don't even know how many frames it is as a result because we're actually extending this video. Yeah. So much stuff to even think about. Huh. Yeah, I think that would make this a separate workflow, but I don't know what this would do. says I feel like it would be reference motion though, to be honest. Like from what it sounds like this would make more sense as reference motion than it would be control video. And also, if it is control video, it looks like I'd have to loop it back through. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna take it off of that. I don't know. I don't even know what I should change in the prompt. I don't even know how that would work. That might be too much. I really just think that's too much, and I'm really pretty sure this won't run mainly due to memory allocation, let alone anything else. I know there's a lot of stuff that like Kajai does with the set of, well, it's actually not just the nodes. You need specific models to go along with his nodes. But I think there's it's so much like spaghetti when you're connecting it. Like this seems like, I think, enough like that, but I can still manage to organize it. But everything with Kajai stuff is like so difficult to always get it to work on everyone's system too. Because being that I'm a Linux user, I can't always tell you how stuff will work on Windows or how to make it work on Windows. So it becomes like problematic sometimes when I have to like think about that. And I think with his, I've seen a lot of people have errors. So I do want to figure out ways of like, which might go even more technical, like porting those things, like I think it's the multi-talk, and I can't remember what the other one's called. It's another, I think it's Fantasy Talk. There's like two other ones that are really popular right now in the open source community. And I think those, like, it's not as difficult, or at least there's more information about how to like get all of the stuff you want and not just be like a talking head. Because technically we've had this talking head thing for a while. It's just gotten better. Alright, there we go.
Advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede.
I don't know that it got better. I don't know.
DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants, DNA identification remapping. Well,
Yeah. I don't know that it got better. Oh. That's why. It was still at 1. Ugh. It's still at 1 CFG. You're right, Rico. You're freaking right. I didn't even freaking increase it. Oh my god. We went through all of that. We went through all of that. Ain't that something? Alright. Let's just see if it'll possibly do anything. I think it's gonna conk out on me. And hopefully it's not gonna like destroy my system when I try to run this video thing. What if it's one's reference motion and then we just put this into the control video every time? What if it's that? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking like this. I gotta look up some documentation on this thing. Too much. I just feel like it's really like the whole thing is just too much. Well, this is gonna take a while. I already know this is gonna take a while. So what else can I do? Wait for that. Yeah. Yep. Let's see that. How did I know that was coming? Sorry, so technically everything I'm doing right here actually could be done in multiple workflows. It doesn't have to be in one. I avoid using Kajai's K-sampler workflows. I'm more VRAM demanding with my PC. Yeah, I think he has like certain things that are ported with GGUFs and stuff too, but I just find a lot of times there's always an issue with like functionality, like getting them to work on everybody's system all the time is not always easy. I'm pretty sure this is gonna take a while. So, one of the things also, maybe we can check this out while we wait, is me. I've been going over. Not that. Oh, you can't see. God, I keep forgetting you guys can't see what I see. Am I doing that right? Okay, there we go. Is that showing up on the stream or not? Can't even tell. Okay, yeah, I think it is. So I've been working on my whole cyberpunk theme. I've been going over a lot of these. These are the ones I try to generate from stuff. And it goes hand in hand with what I'm doing this, but I'm trying to make the keyframes for this thing. It started just like this, and then it got better and better. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna use one of those. Where's that other one? I don't know exactly how this came about, but I think this is one of those instances where I used like the positive prompt and the negative prompt as the same thing, and it started breaking apart the image, which is all. I always feel like that's a cool thing to do. Oop. I keep sliding the cursor over that. That's definitely one of them. It's one of those ones where I did like the negative prompt as the positive prompt. I always feel like these are good starts though for like an underpainting, because I use that same like crazy workflow where I just like do the brainstorming thing and I flesh out the details of this. God, I wish I could run multiple at one time. That was really cool. Yeah, these are the actual like the low resolution ones that I was doing that are basically just like inspiration for what the actual one in the end's gonna look like. Cause yeah, this one is, you can tell like I started fleshing it out a little bit more. You see how many iterations? It's like so many iterations of just like, these are just visual concepts that potentially are going to be keyframes. They're not the actual like anything like fleshed out or anything yet. That's not even the same thing. That's, I think, yeah, that's when you get to the what do you call it? Let's see if I can find the rest. I think because they're in different folders after that part. 'Cause that's when I was trying to get rid of a character from something else. I forgot what I labeled everything now. Alright, they're not one because they're just what do you call it? Well, it should be image to prompt though, right? Am I mistaken here? Hold on. Yeah, this one had like this one was I was getting more developed stuff. Yeah, I am gonna use wand for the keyframes. So yeah, I basically just, this is Flux. I think this was Flux Crea actually. This one, like the original ones, I think I started off as just Flux 1 Dev, and then this is like Flux Crea, so I can get more refined stuff. I've learned that the LoRa's that you use on Flux 1 Dev can still work on Crea too. They just need a different level of like push. That one might be a little bit more useful. I think I kept messing with that one, trying to get the right look to it. This one might be the frame I might use. That's pretty garbage. Yeah, that was the more refined one, I think. I kept like getting more and more iterations of this. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. I hope all of these are, I think they're all PG. I don't think it's anything like too, because I'm gonna use this for the YouTube channel, but I don't think I have any frames that aren't PG. I really like this. I think I did a few iterations of this one. This is when you can tell like where the actual like what do you call it, the data sets came from. Like it literally has like Cyberpunk in the name. Oh, this is, I remember this is the when I was trying to make that digital character from yesterday. That guy. Yeah. That's when it started getting really trippy. Cause I kind of want to do something like, I want to push the limits a little bit, cause it's kind of, I want to do this kind of weird, what do you call it, cyberpunk, almost like horror, cause it's dystopian future, man. I know somebody has played, some of you guys have probably played Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, that's the thing already animated. I gotta redo this mech character. I want it to be more distinct. That's a good frame. I gotta get them all the same way. Yeah, these were actually mistakes. They weren't actually supposed to be this way, but now I wanted to use them like some weird like advertisement running behind some strange Android type character. Alright, anyways. Cyberpunk when it came out. It was cool. It is. I'm hoping that the sequel will somehow come out in my lifetime, but you know they don't ever really talk about it at all. But as there was really nothing else like it. There's no comparison. So if you want like a really Cyberpunk game, is the only game to go to. In fact, if you just type in Cyberpunk, it's literally the only thing that usually pops up. Like if you search for anything like related to it, it's just the thing that pops up all the time. It's like it's almost like they invented it, even though they didn't. Like they did it so well. So I got a question. If anybody, I know I don't have a lot of people in this chat, but if anybody in the chat wants to try to answer it, what do you guys want to do with like sound and video? I'm actually surprised this thing is actually still running. I didn't think it was actually gonna run through this. I thought it was gonna like stop at some point. This is the first time I've ever run this through, so I have no idea what it's gonna output. I'm really surprised it just continues. This is going, and I didn't even try to preview the video to see what the animation or whatever is gonna look like. Let's clear this off. I don't know why we even look at this still. Okay. Well, yeah, I've been wanting to make my own series too, actually. It's just the complexity of it when you're only one person. There's actually a lot of ideas I want to do, but it's actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to do the ideas I want to do and also do like tutorials at the same time, because not everything that everybody wants to see is what I'm focused on, and what I'm focused on is not what everybody wants to see, I think, all the time. So oh well. I think I should just, you know, make it easier. Just do what I feel like will be interesting, and then just post it to see how people react to it, I guess. I think this is interesting, but I have no idea if there's like anybody wants to see this. But I think I'll leave this up as like this is the first time I've ever done this, and then I'll also make a real tutorial video on this whole thing as I like really like work out the kinks of it, because this is literally right now, this is me working out what can and cannot be done. So far I think I got decent progress, but we're gonna find out in a few minutes or so what this will do and if this is actually feasible or possible, because I have no idea what it's gonna pop up on this, or whether it's gonna do that weird thing where it like shows the, what do you call it, the skeleton of the DW pose within the other character too, because I didn't preview it. That's just ridiculous. I just ran it. Sometimes like, who cares, let's just see what happens. I really didn't think this was gonna run, to be honest. I thought it was gonna fail. There was one point where it had the little memory allocation thing, but that happens from time to time anyways. I'm actually more afraid of running out of regular RAM than than I am running out of VRAM. Because when I run out of regular RAM, the whole stream goes away, but also like, you know, deadlocked on my system. So, but I'm also trying to like make sure my computer is not like too impressive, I guess you could say. Like I don't want to have the best of the best stuff, not just because it's expensive, but also because it also makes it so it's like you guys lose the frame of reference. Like most people won't have that, so how am I making stuff that most people can utilize if, you know, it's way outside of their reach? I want to try to at least stay a little bit inside of the reach of the general public while also trying to push the limits of, you know, what I could possibly create as well. But I don't know how much, you know, regular RAM is like a crazy amount of RAM for people to have now. Because there's a lot of gamers out here that have like tons of like regular RAM. I think 64 gigabytes of regular RAM is like a new minimum for like at least a gaming world. I could be wrong. There's also the still other part, like the little blip at the beginning. I want to figure out how to get rid of that. Especially since we don't have trim latent on here. That's just kind of annoying. If I realized what they were doing in the node itself, because the one, I think it's one fun control and the one empty. That's not allowed. Which one is it on? One of these. I can't remember what it is, but the one that has trim latent thing, it's just something you pull out from the node itself, but it doesn't explain itself. And that's what if I knew this math or whatever that it was doing to trim the latent off, that would be magic. I tried something on one of them. Oh, black screen. It didn't work. Okay, well, that's a lesson learned. That's not gonna work that way. So, this might just be too many models loaded up. It might not even be like specifically wrong as much as if I just replaced all these set of nodes with whatever this video would output. You have 64 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, and 8 gigabytes. Okay, so yeah, I might stick around with the 64 gigabytes of RAM for a while. Alright, let me do this. Let me pull that output really quick. I want to try something. It plays the audio. Okay, let me do something real quick. I'm going to load up this. Okay, so this was the output. I just dropped in the, what do you call it? The output for what we just did that gave us the black screen. But I'm going to turn this to fixed so that way we don't have to run this part again. I want to see something else. What happens if we... probably one of the major reasons why I have a black screen. Alright, let's take it without the DW processor thing. Let's do that. Yeah, okay. So the problem is how the model is loaded in here with the VAE. It's not going right anyways. Doesn't matter what everything else is doing. So troubleshooting. Yeah, the easier solution I think too is make this in two different workflows. This is the ridiculous way of doing this. It makes no sense to do it this way. Unless you like really just would work, but oh, you know what? Oh crap! Yeah, you need good vision. Forgot about that. 1.2.1 requires good vision. Although I think it still will output correctly even without that. I don't think that, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly the problem, to be honest. Definitely, that's definitely not a reason for you to have a black screen. Oops, oh crap. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot all the settings are 1.2.1. Well, alright, one thing's for sure. It's definitely possible for, I guess, to put all this in the memory as I have it right now, but what I don't know is whether or not it actually takes that information into account or how it takes that information into account. That's why, I'll look at documentation and figure that part out. But I think the biggest lesson learned here is that there's a lot of stuff you can do with native nodes that really just like straightforward. You don't have to think too hard about it. And just start from the either this part, one of these preprocessor things, or the K sampler, which usually they're gonna be right next to each other, and just like start pulling out lines, man. And it's usually connects pretty easily. I've done it with vaginas too, but it's not as straightforward. There's so many ways you can connect the same thing. If I can't get this thing to produce anything, I'm just gonna like call it quits on the stream, because I don't want to like spend too much time just rendering this one thing. I don't have a lot of other things I was trying to do at the same time. I really just want to work on this. And I might start trying to figure out how to stream in the morning time rather than streaming in the evening, because maybe there's more people that would be willing to at least tune into, well, for them I guess it would be evening, but for me it would be morning. Yeah, this thing is gonna take forever. Now, let's see what it does. I still don't think the VA is right. No, it isn't. I think I might have to dump the VRAM. I didn't want to have to do that, but I don't think there's any other way. You know what they need in ComfyUI? A way for you to like do this like a programming thing where you can like link a workflow, like literally like they do with nodes, where there's this modularity, like you have modules, right? Make a whole entire workflow module that you can do a callback to. Like let's just do visual coding at this point. Like, why not? You call back to that workflow, then it uses that to do blah 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 blah, and then you go and feed that output into the next workflow. So then it's like, then we're really like, what is it, cooking with grease or whatever? I don't know. What's up, sir? Alcatraz. I recently landed on your channel. Just built a 128 gig. What we were just talking about. 5090 rig. Came back to, what is it? Got this thing covered up. Came back to your videos to learn the basics. Do you know how well dual GPU support with ComfyUI? Well, it used to not be a thing you could do, the dual GPUs, but I think now they're actually starting to figure out ways of doing it. But I still think the nature of it is you have to, how you say, load the entire model in one specific GPU. So maybe you can split different models into different GPUs. So like what I'm doing right here, which might cause it to not do this thing where you have this black screen right here. You could load this model into one GPU. So I'm guessing you'd have something like CUDA 0 versus CUDA 1. And while you load this one into one, and then you load this other diffusion model into the other GPU. I think that's like the best way to like think about it, because you still have to. The entire model has to be loaded in its own on one device. You can't split it over multiple devices. But I don't know exactly all of the ways that you can make it work on your system to identify that, because technically in the world of computer engineering in general, that's always been the issue, is can you get software to understand your hardware? Because you might have the greatest hardware ever, but your software doesn't understand it. That was, this might be before you guys' time. But there was a time before they put multiple processing units on one die, like literally one physical CPU. They used to separate them across the motherboard. Now, I believe it was AMD that first came up with the idea of like putting multiple processing units on one specific processor. And this helped solve the problem of software not knowing that you had like multiple GPUs on the motherboard, so it wouldn't even utilize them. And it was just like one CPU working harder than the other, and then they came up with multi-threading and all this other stuff. So, but I think AMD still belongs to Intel back then. Anyway, that same problem. Not to get into a technical discussion, but that same problem of like having software understand what your hardware is capable of doing is still an issue, especially with stuff like this, where, I mean, technically what we're doing on these open source generative AI stuff is technically like state of the art, and like you're pushing the limits. We're still experimenting with a lot of stuff. I mean, this thing that I'm using right now, it says beta on it, you know? Like, they haven't finished a lot of this stuff, so just realize you're gonna have to do some tinkering to make it work the way you want it to. Some of those using more GPU, yeah. Also, like, I think it's memory management is like a big thing with making this stuff work effectively. I've come to realize that, like, especially after the stream I attended last night, that segmentation fault error is directly related to like this stuff in ComfyUI trying to access memory that it's not supposed to access. And I don't know how bad that would be on Windows. On Linux is a little bit easier to deal with. Because even if I have to like run like a disk scan thing, I can get it back running again. Windows, you might break your whole system. I don't know. Yeah, that is not the solution. I'm gonna have to reboot or something. At least the thing here. I really didn't want to. I might have just had too much stuff going on. Anyways. Yeah, stuff does get obsolete pretty fast, but it's not obsolete. It's just like people have stuff that they think is better, but you can still use it if it makes what you want. It really just, I guess, depends on that.
DNA identification remapping. Welcome to the most advanced medical facility on Ganymede. We offer the most state-of-the-art cybernetic kinesis implants. DNA identification remapping. Well,
So I think he made it the tail end of the stream there, Alcatraz. But yeah, I think I might continue on this. Well, I definitely am going to continue on this, but I'm going to do like a more formal tutorial on this, and I'm going to get this thing to work right here. This section right here is the part that I don't know if I'm going to include it like I'm trying to do here into a workflow, but definitely going to get this thing to do more than just a talking head, because that's not that fun or that interesting. So really getting the other parts of it working effectively is going to be the issue, I think. But I will leave this stream up so that way people can, you know, take a look at it. But yeah, I can't figure out exactly. I'm having this problem a lot lately, where I put too many models together and then it screws with the data too much. Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or an evening, depending on where you guys are at, and have fun with all this stuff, man. The stuff with the generative AI. I know I will continue to be tinkering around with it all the time, even if I'm not seeming to update stuff. The truth is, guys, it's just a lot of stuff to be done all the time. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great night, evening, daytime, afternoon.